was also the beginning of the Mark Twain Zephyr from St. Louis to Burlington.
Ralph Budd and my grandfather was interested in stainless steel.
I don't know how he got in contact, but now enter part 2 of the story, the Mark Twain Zephyr.
I really hope that my first train ride is on the Zephyr.
Thanks so much for joining us for another update on MarkTwainZephyr.com. Also, our Facebook and Twitter pages at Mark Twain Zephyr. I'm Robert Tabor, Director of Passenger Development for the Wisconsin Great Northern Railroad, and it's great to have you along for another one of our Sunday video updates. It is Sunday, January 9th, 2022. Happy New Year, everybody. Hope you had a great Christmas and New Year's, and hope you enjoyed our 3 weeks of interviews that we presented by some of the family members who had an integral role in that of the Mark Twain Zephyr. Well, things are wrapping up quickly on the interior of some of the cars. Bob was hard at work putting some finishing touches. Let's take a look. And we're here with Bob in the Huckleberry Finn, and we are preparing to tile the...
Robert, we
Yes.
are not.
Oh,
preparing.
you, sir!
Have no part in this.
The truth comes out in the new year. What do I say here? Okay, Bob is preparing to tile the...
And Phil.
And Phil is preparing to tile the Huckleberry Finn. So what are the first steps? You're kind of laying everything out to make sure...
What we're doing is because there's a pattern that squares, and if you look into Tom Sawyer, when you come in, the foyer has... There's one of the squares, there's a full square centered in each entrance of the car, and then the pattern follows off of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, here there's not that much in the Tom Sawyer. It goes from the foyer, it goes down the hall by the bathrooms. So that pattern, then this diamond-shaped pattern that this will create flows right down the center of the hallway.
Okay, so you kind of have to rotate each tile and everything.
Yeah, there's the square. No, that ain't right. This is the 2 squares here. But there'd be another square coming off that way.
It can definitely, I don't know if people at home can see, but it can definitely mess with your eyes a little bit. And
it does. It does. I mean, for one person to sit here and stare at it, it would become difficult, because that's the start of a point right there. And then, if I come, yes, that's because we're splitting the center of the diamond would go right like that, and then like.
It's almost like a puzzle, huh? I don't know if you're a puzzle guy. You like putting together puzzles.
I do, but I wouldn't put this puzzle together. I had to throw. It's just because then. This here is the main square, but then if you look at it, it's like what they call it. Is that Celtic, where there's all other squares?
I think so. Yeah.
That interlock together. Mm-hmm. But this one here is, this diamond-shaped pattern now is the exact center of this floor.
So you put that down, and then you go off of that.
Then we go off of that, so each cut on each side is the same, and then it's exact length. And then in the other cars where there is a hallway that runs off of here, this main diamond pattern runs right down the center of the hallway.
Mm-hmm. And then, so obviously some tiles you'll have to cut because we have the hole going down and all that and in different shapes. So you'll actually have to cut some of the tile once you get toward the edges.
Well, yeah, I just said that. Even here on the edges, so each edge cut, if we got a 2.5-inch piece on that edge, there should be a 2.5-inch piece on that side.
Mm-hmm. Is it pretty hard to cut, or is it made pretty?
No, if you got a saw for it, it cuts pretty decent.
As you can see, the interiors are pretty much done on all the passenger cars of the Mark Twain Zephyr, including the Becky Thatcher, Effie Dean, Huckleberry Finn, and the Tom Sawyer. Well, the really cold heart of the winter is here. Temperatures have been below zero for much of the week, which means it's really just too hard to do a lot of the exterior work for the next few weeks to a month or so on the Mark Twain Zephyr. We're going to be transitioning some of our crews to converting the rest of our dining cars on our dinner train over this time period when it's really, really cold outside to private dining rooms, like the one you see right behind me. When the Wisconsin Great Northern reopens on May 10th of this year, all parties who come up will receive their own private dining rooms. We're converting our articulated cars to a total of 28 private dining rooms for really the only private dining experience you can have aboard a train anywhere in the country. We're really excited about this project, but we have some work that needs to be finished up on it before we are able to reopen. So our crews are able to remain inside. Instead of working outside on the Mark Twain Zephyr, they'll be working inside to convert our cars into these beautiful private dining rooms that you see behind me. We're really excited about this. We're already starting to take reservations for the dinner train and board the private dining rooms. You can go to www.spoonertrainride.com and again, already taking reservations for our trains, including the private dining rooms and of course our overnight bed and breakfast train. We're really excited about that. But again, during the heart of the winter here, in the next couple of weeks, our crews will be working on this project. So we'll be taking a few weeks off from doing our updates, but we look forward to bringing you more information on the Mark Twain Zephyr coming up later this winter and into the spring. We'll have more updates for you. But again, hop on and get your reservations now for all of our trains. Also our wine and cheese train, pizza trains, and a lot more. All the information up at www.spoonertrainride.com. And we will resume our someday updates in a few weeks to a month or so when some of that exterior work, when it gets a little bit warmer outside and our crews can do some of that exterior work. So thanks a lot for joining us for this Sunday update. We'll see you shortly.
Thanks so much for joining us for another update on the Mark Twain Zephyr at the Wisconsin Great Northern Railroad. Before you leave, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can do this by clicking on the red subscribe button. That way, you'll be among the first to know when we post our next update. And be sure to check out marktwainzephyr.com, where we post additional content during the week. You can also watch previous update videos you might have missed. We are also on Facebook and Twitter at Mark Twain Zephyr.
It was so far ahead of its time. It was going to be made out of stainless steel.
Did he design the whole train?
He designed the whole train.
Sometimes the Mark Twain Zephyr was so crowded, she would have to stand between Lucy and him.
The stainless steel cars, and I at that age and young, and how bright it was, and